responsible to be
what's wrong
even
with
out of your parents'
Singapore.
house.
I think
Like,
your
your
question
question
should be what's wrong with Singaporeans.
Now, there are some statistics I'd like to share with you, some alarming statistics. 4 in 10 Singaporeans marry foreigners. We're also told that local women have a prejudice, some local women have a prejudice against local men, and they believe that local men are soft and mummy boys, and that foreign men are dashing, interesting, and rich. So tonight we want to examine, is that actually true? And do foreign men make better husbands? It's free for all. Anybody can go first.
Okay. I'll start. I wouldn't know because I've never married a foreign man before.
Okay.
Neither have I married a Singaporean man.
Yeah.
So can't tell.
So what's so good? What's so good about foreign men?
She's not married to
I've never
foreign
married to a
men, she's married
Singaporean man, so I can't tell the difference. But all I know, I married a man, and he happens to be foreign. And
You must have dated Singaporeans before.
I have dated. But you know, sometimes when you date and when you married, completely different.
Was he
After-
rich when you married him?
No.
Oh, so that's not a reason.
Well-
This I can assure you.
Okay, all right, accepted.
Was not about the money.
Definitely it's not
Okay.
about the money.
You have other
At
assets.
that time was not about the money.
Okay.
But I think overall, I think qualities of a man or spouses, when one start looking for it, you look at, you know, whether this person can hold your interest in the long term. Meaning, for me, sense of humor is very important. Looks is something you can, it's not the first thing, you know, looks well, but sense of humor, intellectual.
You still got it though, you still got it. It's alright.
So I think
Modesty?
yeah, well, you know, never bashful, yeah, modesty, down to earth, feet on the ground. But I think that's at least are the qualities I look for, you know. And you know, yes, I have dated local men before. I think local men are a little bit more conscious of the differences in the race. You know, I noticed the difference that when you date foreign men, the race issue never comes up. It's never about, oh, you being Chinese or you Malay, you know. And being a local man, maybe because of the constraint of the society and the culture, tend to have that as a hurdle first before they even thought about dating local girls. You know, so I guess if that has come and along the way, as you said, the safety net sort of, you know, sieve through those who don't mind it, and they are the people that you would, you know, date first, rather.
Okay.
So it has never come to me as being foreign or local. It's just been man. That's it, man. You know, and he appears.
Hey, hey,
And he
hey.
had stayed so far.
So tell me, when you were younger,
Yeah.
what were the qualities that you found so attractive in Roberto?
Me? Sorry, Ken, I thought you were looking at it. I think it's just a sense of humor. Roberto has a very wicked sense of humor, you know, to a point of being caustic. He's intellectual, so we can talk about many things. Nothing is a taboo. And,
So was brains, not sex.
well, that,
Wow.
yeah, do I really need to tell it here? It goes saying Italian men are the best, so, you know.
All right.
There's none of us here who can dispute
But you're, Morag, you're on the other side of the spectrum. You married a Singapore man. What did you find so attractive as a Scottish woman?
He was sitting next to me, and the first thing you see, of course, is how the person looks, and he was gorgeous. And he'd been a commando. He 2.5 years as a commando in the early days, and he was fit and funny. He made me laugh. And then my family situation wasn't very happy, and very soon I realized how kind he was. And you want a person who is decent and kind, and everything else is secondary. And my experience of coming here was that Singaporeans are obsessed with race. I honestly thought prejudice was a Western thing. I swear to God I did, until I came here. And you classify everybody by their race. You don't see a Singaporean, you see a Malay or an Indian or a Chinese. And I was shocked because I didn't look at him and say he's Chinese.
Yes, but in Scotland,
know.
where you came from, don't you also have the Scottish, the Irish, the English?
Yeah, but we don't make a big deal about it. And I mean, Glasgow is a city that's full of
And you
foreigners.
live peacefully together?
Oh gosh, yes. Glasgow has a huge Muslim Indian community, a very large Chinese community. We live beside the university. You see every race on the face of the earth walking past. It was never an issue. My parents are technically a mixed marriage. My mother's Italian, and they got married at the end of the Second World War. So in those days, that was considered shocking by people. But I mean, to me, it was just normal. So I never thought he's a Chinese boy. No, he was just he's funny, he's lovely, he's
He was
kind.
he was a Chinese
yes.
strapping commando.
And I
Yes.
have him.
Oh Lord.
How about you, Shirley? You also had married a Singaporean man, Philip. Great specimen of a Singaporean man.
Oh, yes, I think
Why?
so. I was young and foolish now. I met Phil quite young. I was 19.
It wasn't for the hair on my chest because I had none.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of my intellect, like in those days.
No. It was his body. No.
No, we won't go any more intimate than that.
I think, first of all, it was physical attraction. But very soon I realized that he was, just like Brian, a very kind person. And what really attracted me was that he really cared for his family, and he was a good man. I could see some of the decisions he'd made in life were made out of great integrity. And that was important to me. And I hadn't quite met anyone like him before.
Not in Scotland.
No, I was brought up in England, in Bristol, and before that I'd been dating boys. And I have to add, he was 12 years older than me, so there was that kind of sweeping me off my feet sort of thing. I was, a country bumpkin, moved to London, and he was quite sophisticated. But underneath, there was a really decent man, and the fact that, I like the family orientedness.
Okay.
Of him, because family is important, and in a marriage partner, beyond the romance, that is the thing that really matters.
Can I interject here, because Phil is my oldest friend in Singapore, and we've known Roberto and Rosie for over 12 years. They are spectacular, stellar human beings. They really are the most decent men you could, I include him in this, obviously. and I think it's just chance that you meet that person,
Yes.
and you recognise those qualities. We didn't go looking, oh look, it's a Singaporean in London, oh an Italian in Singapore. You just, luck sends them your way.
But
And if
did
you're
it
a girl with
matter?
sense-
Did it matter at the time when you met that he was not of the same race?
But I didn't even notice, really. Okay, I'm 54 years old now, and in my childhood it was unusual to travel, okay? But because my mother was Italian, we travelled to Europe every summer, back and forth, a whole troop of us in cars, which was really unique where we were from. So it was just normal. He was just, I really didn't think of him as somebody from abroad. And of course, when you first meet them, you're not thinking, well, I'm going to walk down the aisle with him. It's, I say, you recognise those characters which you think are important and appealing, and it sort of goes on from there.
It's all well and good because you're talking of attractions that are both intellectual as well as human characteristics that are that are good. But then we have also certain views that I'd like to share with you. Views where they say that local women stereotype Caucasian men as confident, intelligent, and rich. Singaporeans stereotype Caucasian men as being rich, and that local women want them because of their money. SPGs, which is the Sarun Party girl, prefer Caucasian men as they believe that the men are rich and treat them better than local men. And that on the other side, local women are viewed as materialistic, while the Chinese men are viewed as uncivilized and chauvinistic. So this is a local prejudice that exists. Is this a fair assessment of foreigners?
I think in every society there's going to be that strata who think money is very important, and whether they're men or women, you know. And so in every society there are going to be women who marry men because they are rich, and it's not a Singaporean thing.
I think because Singapore is so small, we brush shoulders with, you know, the rich people who live in sort of District 10 and 11 and kind of Heartlanders in Bishan or Ang Mo Kio. And so you see
Where
all
are you
these
living?
things.
Do you live
we
in-
live in Katong.
Okay.
We did live in Bedok Reservoir. They lived in Tampines.
What,
up the road
in
from-
HDBSA?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
In HDBSA?
Yeah, well, HUDC.
Okay.
Okay, and I thought it was a fantastic deal. Excellent, I'm a big fan of it. But I think because we rub shoulders so, you know, so closely with the people of all social levels, these kind of strange judgments come out. But if you live in the UK, for example, or you live in Milan and you live in a Tony district, you maybe don't meet the people who live in the suburbs or whatever. So I think Singaporeans, they have these views just because we all live one on top of the other. It's
I
not
think for
really-
most people, first meeting maybe you think there's the difference, but after some time you get over that phase. Yeah, you don't really think about a person's race.